to episode 1.
Episode 1.
90% of families lose their wealth by the time it reaches their grandchildren. A few years after my mom and her brother inherited the family home, we lost the property. Like many others, we never talked about finances or what happens when we're gone. This experience inspired my mom and I to create Atlantic Sands, an app that offers simple, more affordable end-of-life plans, giving younger generations the financial freedom to renovate and revitalize their family home, purchase land, or invest in happiness. Hey y'all, it's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. Today we have Valerie, the co-founder of Atlantic Sands, here to talk about ways to either leave an inheritance or lose one. So before we jump into finances, we're going to talk about getting older for a little bit. What stereotypes about aging do you think are untrue?
That we're washed up.
Ooh.
And that we aren't vital.
Okay.
And still beautiful. And handsome. Some of those guys are very handsome men.
Hey, handsome man.
Yeah.
You can still be fun in your 60s. You can still be turning your 60s.
You can be a lot of fun.
You can still be fun.
I'm still me. I'm still the 20-year-old me that I was. I just been at it a little longer.
Is there anything you wish you'd done differently in your life?
Not many things, really.
Okay.
I did it. I did a lot of things. I don't think that, I mean, of course there could have been more. I could have married a really rich guy. But I didn't. Not that it's over.
There's still time, rich men. Is there anything you wish you knew about money management when you were younger?
Oh my gosh. I knew nothing about money. I had a mother that was great with money. She didn't share it with me.
Do you think society talks about grief and death enough?
No. You know, sometimes it can feel morbid or scary but yeah, I think most people are afraid of talking about death. You don't want to call it in your life. I don't know why.
But it's coming.
I know, but leave it over there.
It's coming either way.
Leave it over there. I'm not ready. I think you've taught me not to be afraid of death so much because of, knowledge is power, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's the fear of the unknown. The more you talk about it, the more normal it feels.
Yeah.
It just feels normal now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we talked about it. So now it's just like, I know one day,
Because, I had an episode. I never thought that I was going to die. So I wasn't really afraid of death. I don't know what I've done if it was. Well, I know what I've done. I know what I've done if it came, but wow.
You a mess.
I saw this girl on social media the other day, and she said that she had got in a car wreck, and the car was flipping over. And her point was that she was thinking, oh my God, am I ready? And she said she kept thinking, am I ready? She didn't go. God saved her. And she said, she made me cry because she was just saying, oh my God, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to get myself in it. How do you get ready? Because I'm going to be ready when my time comes.
That's important to be ready.
It's so important to be ready.
You got to be ready. You got to be ready because you never know. So because I never know, I need to have me a plan in place.
You got to have a plan. Even if you have nothing to leave, just get everybody ready. Talk about it.
Everybody has something to leave. Even if you leaving memories, you still want to make sure that if you have kids to leave behind, you want to make sure that they know, like, hey, I'm gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna be watching out for you.
Make grief a little easier. Yeah. Did Grandma and Grandpa talk to you about their wishes for after they passed?
Since I was like a teenager, my mother in my old room, the dresser, she always showed me the drawer where everything was in it. Since I can just remember, it might have been earlier than 15, but I'm gonna say around that age. And she always told me what she wanted to wear, and she always wanted it just simple. Yeah. So she showed me where all the paperwork was. Yeah. That was her way of getting me prepared.
When I thought of that question, I automatically thought of that dress that she had because she made sure everybody knew when I died, y'all put me in that dress. She didn't want no jewelry on. She made it very clear. She talked about it all the time she
And the dress was so old, it was dry rot, so we couldn't use it.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, why?
If I have a dress waiting for the day I die, I want it to have gotten so old.
You're right. It dry rotted before I had to get in it.
I didn't want it to be new.
It was old before me.
I don't want you to say she just bought that dress last week and she done died. No, that dress is old. It's been up there for a long time.
You're right.
I want it to be old.
You right.
Looking back, is there anything you wish you had done differently when you were grieving?
Grieving for my
Just
mother, my
throughout
parents.
the grief of any, like, do you wish you grieved any differently? Like, do you wish you had a different way of grieving? Or like looking back, would you say, yeah, I maybe didn't grieve in the most healthy way. Maybe I should have.
I think the first time I ever grieved was when my first husband died, and I didn't know, I was 24, so I didn't know much about grieving. So I went through the process the way I went through the process, because nobody really knew 24-year-old widow, so there was no really somebody for me to talk to. So do I wish I would have did it differently? I think I did it in the most healthy way that I could, because I followed my dreams. I wanted to be a teacher. So after he died, I decided, okay, I'm gonna get out of the military, I'm gonna become a teacher. And I did that. And then I started wanting a family, and I did that. So, and like I tell you all the time, I don't have any regrets on nothing.
That's a lot at 24.
And with nobody around you, because I was in the military and I was stationed somewhere else. So my parents were in Florida and I was in Texas.
Yeah, that's hard. What surprised you the most about grief?
How deeply it hurts.
What surprised me about grief is that it can happen even if you don't want to.
Even if you don't want to be
even
grieving.
If you don't want to grieve.
I ain't grieving, but you
I
are.
was like, no, I'm not gonna grieve you. Like, I'm good. Why would I do that? And you do it anyway. How has grief impacted your overall outlook on life?
You know, the small things in life don't really matter, because you'll leave it all, just all of it. They're here today, and then the next minute you're not here, and you're not. How can you not be here?
Grief also, I think, makes you think a lot about your own death. You be like,
your own mortality.
You be like, oh, life is short. Just like that is gone. Is there anything specific you'd like me to do for you if you get ill?
Oh, she gonna make me cry.
Don't cry. Don't cry. No, don't cry.
Like you did the last time. I see you play healing, beautiful music. If I'm going,
good vibes only. Great
vibes only.
You know what else?
What?
I know what you told me.
What I told you?
Make sure your lips don't get chapped.
That's funny.
I know, because you told me that. You were serious. You was like, do not let serious. My lips be dry, please.
You in the hospital, Jess.
How would you like to be remembered?
Never thought anybody would ask me that. How would I like to be remembered? I enjoyed this life.
Yeah.
Where I am in life, who I am in life.
I'd definitely say the first couple things that come to mind when I think of you are very gentle and loving. I'll also say very funny. You always make people laugh.
Yeah,
you make people laugh all the time.
Me too. I'm like, what is funny? I didn't mean to make you laugh, but I can't tell jokes.
No, you're not good at it.
Tell a joke.
No. So, have you ever received an inheritance?
I have.
Okay.
Sad to say.
Why is it sad to say you received
I feel
an inheritance?
guilty.
You feel guilty about receiving an inheritance?
Mm-hmm. Because I wasn't able to hold on to it.
That's not your only time receiving an inheritance, though. So you also got an inheritance when you were 24, right? And you went and bought you a new car. You was living your best life. So do you have guilt about the first inheritance? Do you have guilt about the way you spent that?
Not at all.
Because you were 24 and young and popping.
With
a bag in her pocket.
In a bag, a big old bag.
So looking back, is there anything you would have done differently with the inheritance you got from grandma and grandpa?
On the one hand, I think, if I would have kept it, I could have made a rent off of it and stuff like that. But on the other hand, that house was 3 years older than me. Not that I'm old or anything, but it needed a lot of fixing up. And at that point in my life, I wasn't anywhere near ready to do anything like that, any renovations.
So you would have needed help.
So But as you always tell me, our business wouldn't have taken or had a need. We wouldn't have known about the need if it hadn't happened to us.
Yeah, it had to happen. It had to happen. We had to experience it so that we would be able to say, hey, this doesn't have to be what happens. Like,
it doesn't have to be what happens.
We could try to figure out how to help other people avoid it. Since it happened, okay, we can't do anything about what did happen. What we can do is moving forward, try to help other people.
We're dealing with trying to figure out what I'm going to leave them, how we're going to leave it to each other. We're in the middle of doing that, trying to figure it out. And it's a complicated thing to figure out. Thus, the act.
But I think one thing about the investment that you said was that you can leave somebody an inheritance, or I can give you your inheritance while I'm still living.
I like that. I like that.
I like that too. I like that idea of you can use it while I'm here. If y'all need the help now, I can give it to you now to get a leg up. So either way, when I leave you, I'm leaving you in a better position.
Yes.
The point is to have a plan. Whether you gonna
have a plan is
have
the
a
point.
plan is the point.
Am I gonna spend it with y'all now, or I'm gonna let you spend it when I'm gone? She's spending her inheritance. So this is your inheritance now.
Even outside of just like cash, you also have a property,
right? That
you can leave to your children. So you know, even though you invested, you keep saying like we're spending our inheritance now. Not because you still have the house.
I do still have the house.
There's something else that you know what I'm saying. The house.
I have a tangible real estate.
That's still a property. So
do I will it to you, or do I put it in that thing? I forgot what it's called.
Like a trust?
Trust. Do I do that?
The only issue I have with that is just I'm not sure how it works with you already having a mortgage. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you would have to refinance it into the trust or how that part works. So that's something that we might need to consult with or try to figure out.
And see, a lot of times people don't have money for a lawyer. People don't, and you don't even think you do. You know what I'm saying?
Might be easier than you think.
Well, the last time I checked, it was like for them to talk to me about it and all that, it was like $650 in the door. That's a lot for people.
That is a lot for people. So earlier we mentioned that 90% of families lose their wealth by the time it reaches their grandchildren. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the idea of skipping a generation and leaving an inheritance directly to your grandkids?
I said, why not?
I think Mama Joyce, Candy Mama, I think she did that. Remember she was having a talk with Riley one time, and I think she told Riley about her inheritance. So I think because she wanted Riley to get it. Mm-hmm. I think she did. So I think she left her money directly to her grandkids because Candy good. Yeah, Candy all right. Right. What are your biggest concerns when it comes to passing down assets to me and Alex?
Am I going to be ready for when I'm gone and that they'll just automatically get it? That's my biggest concern. Am I going to be ready? I still have a mortgage, and I don't want my children to take on a debt for me. I even thought about getting mortgage insurance where when you die, this insurance pays off the house, and then I'll leave the house to them. But maybe, because who knows that these companies, I don't even trust that very much. So
your real concern is that you want to make sure you have a solid plan in place for exactly this happened, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. I know no plan is going to be perfect. It might have to deviate a little bit. But I want to have a solid plan in place.
Just stick around forever and then pay off the mortgage.
I don't want to be here forever. No, thank you.
Okay. Me neither.
No, thank you. I'll take a healthy 90.
But by your 90s, you've been paid off the mortgage and you can pass it on down debt free.
For real though.
What are your biggest hopes for your family's future?
That my daughters find some real love guys, somebody who love them for real and care about them. And then we got grandbabies. That's it.
Okay, so you want a next generation to pass it on to?
I do.
Let's get a next generation.
I do. I just want one of my grandbabies. She said, look, she looks in drama stuff and finds all this gawky costume, beautiful jewelry.
It ain't got to be costume.
Well,
you can leave that baby some jewels now.
I can.
Leave her some gold. You said you want to start buying gold. Leave her some gold, child.
Okay.
Rings, earrings, toe rings.
Or he. And we're going to teach he how to treat ladies. You ladies, if I ever get a grandson.
Daddy gonna teach him how to be a man.
His daddy's gonna teach him how to
His
get a man.
daddy gonna teach him how to be a man.
He sure is. You're gonna have a great father. Amen.
Families that pass down an inheritance have a plan. So what happens after you die? Secure your family's legacy with Atlantic Sands.
That was so good.
We did that.